click, clock, click, clock, click, clock, click, clock, click, clock.
What's your name?
That's amazing.
The only tournament ran by 4 wizards in a trench coat, it's Jet Set Radio Future Bingo. 2 teams of Rudies are about to race through the streets of Tokyo To to complete their bingo board objectives. For every soul and character they unlock, they'll receive a point. If a team manages to cover an area in graffiti, they'll get a whopping 3 points. But they better watch their backs, because it's first come, first serve around these parts. Only one team can claim each square, and we don't hand out no consolation prizes for second place losers. Ha 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 ha! If a team can work together and mark 5 squares in a row, column, or a diagonal, they'll secure a bingo and be rewarded with a 2-point bonus. Ooh! Oh, and one final thing. Don't forget, this game is all about working together with your teammates. So any tape pickups, stolen locks, and graffiti completions will be synced between team members. Don't try to solo it alone, you jackass. All right, let's hit this joint. It's time for another round of Jet Set Radio Bingo!
Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting match of Jet Set Radio Future Bingo. As always, I'm Ace and today we're bringing you a chaotic clash between 2 fantastic teams. First up, we have a team that's covered in red. They've conquered everything from the shortest ILs to the longest full game categories, and I've been assured offline that their name isn't a typo. It's Nastranus and Losa from Team Rollberblades. And going up against them today, we have the purple team, who have demonstrated that a good offense is a good defense whenever the mail is delivered. Ready to chase off the competition, we have Shovelclaws and Vane from Team Bark at the Mailman. And in the commentators box today, we have the duo that heard that there was a contortionist contest and entered themselves. It's Eclapricious and 7th Ace.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trenchcoat cast. Today we've got a great one.
JSRF Bingo.
Woo! Bingo. I'm so excited. Ekla, this is my first time getting to commentate this season. I'm so excited. We get to talk about bingo. Bingo.
Yeah, your first time getting to commentate with all the new amazing commentator aids that we have in terms of the new tech.
Oh, that's great. That's great. All right,
I know
let's
you love all of that, like all the timers and stuff.
Yes, I did in fact like them because I went, wow, I've done enough commentary. I want to see what's I want to see more info to commentate with. We got a little bit of frame rate issue, so I do want to wait just a second.
Yeah, while we're sorting that out, why don't we have a look at this first board of the day for this match between Bucket the Mailman and Rollberblades. What have we got going on here? Chuo's looking good.
So, it's an interesting board. We've got a lot in Shibuya and a lot in Benten, but only 4 squares in Kogane, but they are worth a lot of points. This feels like one where you could, theoretically, if you are Rollberblades, you could send one start in Kogane, or Benten Shibuya, and then theoretically send somebody off to Kogane fairly early to start doing graffiti. So, I mean, that sounds like a Losa kind of thing to do.
Yeah, we did see maybe Rollberblades were a little bit rusty coming into their first game. I wonder if, they'll adapt and try and avoid confrontation, because, like you said, you could just send Losa off and get graffiti done. I like Chuo here just simply because it's not often where you can commit to a lap of Chuo and it's good. Because you've got Special, you've got Cubby on the board, so that feels like something, instead of going ham for the early points, the contested ones, you could just go to Chuo and pick up a few points in a relatively short space of time.
Yeah, as somebody who really likes figuring out good squares to pick up, I think picking up the minimum you need to block most bingos and then just live in the graffiti areas could be a really solid idea for either of these teams. I can expect Shovel to try and make some kind of aggressive play, for example, column 4, but everyone except column 4 and row 1 require a Kogane square, so there is going to be some kind of necessity to go there, and I think those 4 squares are going to be a lot more pivotal than it kind of looks on this board.
Yeah, honestly, going into Kogane early and picking up their 2 FRC squares is not bad. I don't know about committing to the graffiti early on, but the
early no.
Squares aren't bad.
Early no, but again, you can live in Kogane and then you can block every bingo with every Kogane square plus Shibuya special. Done. You've blocked 5 bingos. Or all 12 different bingos.
And we haven't talked too much about Benten, but 99th, it's got a lot of points there. Highway 0, as much as I love Highway 0, seems like it's not all that good here unless you're competing for one of those bingos, but it doesn't... yeah, there's nothing really that seems to make Highway 0 very good, but 99th is good. You've got some stuff in Dino as well, 3 squares in Dino. Everything's very much concentrated in those 2 areas in terms of what's important in Benten. So I'm curious to see who goes to Benten, if we get anyone going to Benten off the bat.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see. This is very unique capability on this board as we have started the thinking period here. Yeah, we've thought about the board, so I'm just curious to see what our players decide to do.
And given the time, a little bit of extra time that we've had to discuss this board, it does stand out that there is no one clear play off the start.
Yeah, I definitely
Maybe, like,
agree with you.
Other than Shibuya Air 3 being the fastest soul, you know? Other than that, I think we could realistically see very different plans from both teams.
Yep, I think we'll see that in just a minute. Go. And we are off. Well, minus a little bit of catch-up delay, and everybody is on the way. Board is revealed. We have Shovel headed out to Shibuya side, Nay headed out to Dark side, and the complement being Losa and Vayne.
All right, so neither team springing for those early FRZ souls. It will be the two slightly more concentrated areas then. Shovel going for tape first in Shibuya. Losa actually heading straight to Chuo, so as we discussed, it's relatively free uncontested points in Chuo if you just want to go and do that lap and get that done. And it's actually Shovel that's going to be going for that fastest Air 3 in Shibuya to pick up the first point of the game.
Checking in at the Dark Side race, we have Nay delayed into Skyscraper by 1.5 seconds, heading for... Looks like Nay is headed off to Sky Dino. Losa heading into your beloved Highway 0, where there are 3 points available relatively quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. Right off the start, it's really curious that nobody did anything in 99th. It's just straight to either Dino or Highway 0. And I feel like strategically, maybe I prefer Dino here.
Right, I could agree with you there.
Actually gone into Chuo here.
The Shovel just went for Air 3, might try and take an advantage out to some other location, but we know it likes doing the Tricks 30 unlock, as it looks like Vayne picks up left Neon Sign, and does pick up the tape, makes sense, spending time in Kogani. Nay just picks up the Sky Dino tape and is going to start working on some of the unlocks there, which of course points Bronto and Special.
Really interesting. So Losa went for tape and then went straight to Chuo Air instead of doing the tricks. Shovel gets the tricks and is going to leave. Losa considers committing to a lap and then actually decides against it and is now leaving. So any advantage that Losa might have had in Chuo seems to have been squandered as they trade points.
Yeah, I generally agree with you there. They're, trade 1 for 1, get out later, not ideal. I really...
Yeah, and that puts Rollberblades at a bit of a disadvantage here.
Where's Losa going? Losa is leaving. Okay, I thought that was headed up towards the... headed towards the tape, but it is not. Losa is just going to leave. He's going to find purchase somewhere else, and that will be in 99th and Benton? Or is that Dogan?
Looks like Benton. Interesting. So they're stacking up in Benton?
I'm okay with this. There are a lot of points, as you mentioned, in 99th Street that can be grabbed rather quickly to clean out any value that Vayne might try and get. Come on, Losa. You can do it. Make a decision. Press the A button. I believe... No! Losa's leaving to go somewhere else.
They're looking at the top left and bottom right.
Yep.
I definitely thought about that when we saw the first few squares locked in, but then seeing Losa leave Shibuya was really weird. Looks like they've reverted that decision and are in fact going to try for this. While that's happening though, the decisiveness of Barker the Mailman has gotten them 5 points. No real bingo threats, I would say. Hikage will nullify any potential row 3, but the just raw amount of points and the areas on the map that Barker in feels like they can just keep on stacking points up here.
I'm gonna sneeze, so go ahead and continue. Actually, I think I'm good. The decisiveness has also led Shovel to be able to already be ahead to all of the Hikage squares. Shovel is actually skipping grind 20, maybe by choice or by incident, and is going to pick up that center square. And now it's going to be the row 3 that's kind of coming together. Well, honestly, though, it doesn't take any major threats. Barker the Mailman's doing an excellent job of just grabbing points in this early game.
Yeah, and that's good priorities there from Shovel Claws. Going for Hikage points instead of grind. You're not sure where Losa is, you're not sure if you're going to be contested. That's the high priority square. Center square blocks off that top left, bottom right bingo, and as well anything else really that Rollberblades could assemble. And now it's a matter of just seeing this game out, I feel, for Bark. They've got the control.
Yep. Losa is ahead to grind, though. That might be a nice little steal. Obviously, center square kind of would be nice for their bingo capabilities and getting back into this game, but that is a one-for-one trade, and you can see Losa has been in here for about a minute less, so that does trade up on time at the cost of board presence. I am expecting Losa to go to Kogane. I think it is Kogane.
I was about to say, yeah, it's got to be time for the graffiti now. You've done a good job as Losa to get some of that time back that you lost in Chuo versus Shovel. Now it's time to pick up some points, get into Kogane, maybe do so uncontested. It depends on where Shovel goes. The decision from these two players is going to be really important right now, and it looks like Losa's actually going to Dogen.
You know, that Dogen graffiti does exist. Oh, are we getting a graffiti
Shovel's
race?
going as well.
Uh-oh, graffiti race against Losa. Meanwhile, before we get into that, Nay just unlocks Grind 20 ahead of Vayne. So that looks to be safely secured. And with that being the last square in SDPP, Vayne's going to score nothing here. And this could be a significant moment in the game, Ekla, where we could see Rollberblades invalidate huge amounts of Bark at the Mailman's time.
Yeah, I mean, we were paying a lot of attention to what was happening in Shibuya-cho. Nay actually just cleaned house on Darkside in Dino and in SDPP. 99th still has some points to be taken, but the graffiti race happening on the bottom of the screen is very, very close as well.
No, it is not, Ekla. Shovel missed the upper tags, I believe. Notice how it's only at 10 rather than the 12, so it missed the medium and small by trick, so that is a second lap penalty. This is absolutely massive against Losa, who does this on NPG. And Shovel's fully committed too. It has gone past the point of no return, so there is nothing to do but commit to this. Maybe pray for Tricks 20 to come up, but this is looking like a huge moment in time for Rollberblades. And look, Vayne's behind Nay to the tape again. Grind 15 now looking to be picked up by Rollberblades, and this game is coming back in their favor.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of turning this around in the last couple of moments. I was almost wondering if Vayne just rushed to Dogen to pick up those two tags and maybe save the day, rather than contested 99. But I don't know if you can afford to give up the points here. Oh, that's so
God, that
close.
was picked up by Bark at the Mailman. That was ridiculously close. Holy smokes, a matter of stream delay. Wow, that is incredible. We try and sync these streams currently, but it was causing a small set of issues. That is absurd levels of close. Wow, that is a pivotal square for blocking that column 1.
Yeah, and this game swings again. This has been back and forth, and though the points say Bark at the Mailman are leading, Losa should clean out this Dogen graffiti, no problems whatsoever, and there's absolutely nothing that Shovel can do about it being committed to Dogen. You know, once you lose those sprays, it's not just a matter of losing those sprays and saying, well, I guess I'll give up on the graffiti. You got to do a lap of Dogen anyway. There it is, graffiti locked in for Rollberblades, and it's 9-9.
Yep, that is a Losa? Okay, that's Losa with the creative routing, I will say, is going to be behind Shovel to Tricks. So that's one consolation, is that Shovel's in a good spot. Shovel is leaving. Shovel is assuming that it has been beat to Tricks as well. So Losa...
That's a fair assumption to make.
I agree.
You don't expect Losa to have made a really strange routing decision there. So that's the right call from Shovel in the face of a mistake that it couldn't have predicted from Losa.
I agree with you there, and is finally headed off into Kogane. Vayne also ahead into Kogane, so it's going to be graffiti o'clock for them. Nay is not quite lined up for the out of map. Oh my goodness. Console
Almost got
moment.
it work.
There we go.
I cannot believe that worked. That would not have worked on emulator. I'm mad about that. Anyway, Vayne is into sewers now, and it is Kogane time at last. What is Vayne doing?
Vayne is going for the graffiti route.
Oh, it's sewers graffiti.
Yeah,
I thought
sewers
it was
and
Kibo FRZ.
Kibo.
I literally
They are
cannot
slow.
read.
Oh, they're just going for the double graffiti attack. Okay, this is really solid because you will guarantee pick up one of them. But if Losa and Nate kind of start working together, and we have seen a propensity for them to do co-op graffiti routes, this could end poorly. Actually, now both of them in sewers, and all hands are headed to Kogane now.
All right. They are co-oping this route with Shovel climbing up and Vayne continuing on from the bottom. Interesting.
See,
I
yep,
don't know if this is the right time to co-op, really.
So, Losa is heading into Shibuya. All right, let's win conditions.
I was about to say, time to do the maths.
Points to 16 right now, and there are no bingos on this board. So the important thing is one graffiti, which we're looking at FRZ right now from Nay, will put them at 14, so Losa needs 2.
They've done the maths, and Nay's made the right call by going into FRZ here, whilst still both of Bark are in sewers.
Now, here it is, Ekla. You don't need any graffiti.
That's right. 2 points in FRZ, 3 points in Shibuya.
Chuo Shibuya is 5 points. They will win without doing graffiti, which is insane. As Bark, you have to recognize when you can lock that up. Usually you can, assume that you can get to one left and then win the game with, one square. But that's not the case here. And Losa and Nay are playing this excellently right now.
Yeah, I mean, if they do lock in the sewers graffiti, which is looking like they will, right? Where do they go to pick up that one final point? They have to race to Shibuya or Chuo or FRZ, which they are behind to every single one of those. Like I said, I'm not sure the co-op sewers was the play here.
No, this is another one where a little bit of a too early co-op might be punishing Bark at the Mailman, and now the jig is up, the news is out, Shibuya Special has been locked in. Losa grabbing the cans and heading off. Losa, thank you, Losa. Oh my goodness, Losa, you almost gave me a heart attack.
I'm not ready for this, not after last week. Come on.
Oh man. Yeah, this 100-meter room route has taken Shovel a significant amount of time, and there's just no way to get ahead to Chuo and ahead to FRZ, even with co-op at this point. Nay smartly delayed their squares as well, and now the full extent of their plan has been revealed, and it is too late.
Not only is this a really good way to visualize your win condition from Rollberblades, but Nay has just quietly been playing really solidly throughout this entire game. Like, execution-wise, and then also just knowing where to go and when, getting a little bit of extra time ahead of Vayne in Benton Show. Quite quietly. It's not been super flashy, but they've picked up all the points they've needed, and this game is theirs to win from this position.
Yep. Ooh, that's kind of a scary Chuo special from Losa, but I'm going to trust him and his NPG experience, but that was quite a rapid grind. I mean, at this point, they know they are cooked. There is no further gameplay required.
That is fair.
That was Losa. Losa, I told you that wasn't long enough on that first rail. That rail, if you grind that at max speed from the very first part, I believe it leaves you on the rail for like 1.1 seconds. You really need to slow down on that first rail. But you know what? I did mention it. Yeah. GGs are being called, though. That is, we thought it was 15 to win. This is why you use the squares method, not the points method.
Well, lesson learned for the next game.
Nobody will learn. Only Miku has done it. I love you for doing it, Miku, but nobody learns squares. It is the easiest way. You don't have to figure out anything to win.
Oh,
and
dear.
that is game 1 going over to Rollberblades.
That was a great game. Buck started really strong, but it was just a better visualization of the win condition, as I said. Like, just figuring out what they needed to do to win, and that didn't involve graffiti from Rollberblades. That was so clever of them. Yes, I mean, it was a slight miscalculation from Bach, which may have affected their decision-making a little bit, but not to take anything away from Rollberblades. They really had a clear plan of what to do.
Yep. We're going to go ahead and... Oh, is Chuo special on this board to be sure that it doesn't, reset into it? Okay, good. They'll get it. Game 1 to Rollberblades, and now I think Shovel and Vayne are one of the, they feel very similar in a lot of ways to Rollberblades, featuring runners that have done a lot of runs. I think Shovel is the most unique, where it is done comparatively the fewest runs, and but has spent a lot more time on the bingo part. So really just a very cool matchup of these players.
Yeah, Shovelclaw's known bingo fan. So we got our board for game 2.
We
and our
hate
players are
Kogane
about
in
to
here.
reveal it. I suppose we hate Kogane.
We hate Kogane. This is only 6 of them. This is very similar, but we have
And
the...
none of that is quick either.
No, well, Sewer's Grind 10 is Catwalk
The quickest of
PJ.
all of them.
Yeah,
Catwalk PJ, maybe?
maybe, but the
it's
bingo's
going to be
with
a
its
late game
spin.
Kogane again, I feel.
Yeah. It is, looking at the board, though, we have quite the dichotomy of graffiti squares with the very rapid Shibuya graffiti and the lethargic SDPP graffiti.
SDPP graffiti Sewer's special on the same column is crazy.
God, if someone scores column 1 bingo, you should just auto-win the game, regardless of the rest of the board state. I think picking up Shibuya graffiti fairly early is actually going to be quite important, because getting that to counteract the late game sewers or SDPP graffiti is going to be very important. It can really help your win condition, picking up the single fast graffiti.
Alright, let's see where our players go on this relatively stacked Shibuya board. But I don't know about Shibuya really, because you got a couple of quick squares, but I don't know if we'll see people commit a whole lot of time to it.
I think this is one of the boards where you have to have somebody go, oh, double Shibuya opening from Rollberblades, 1 into Dogen, 1 into top of bus, not top of bus, going off to Hikage. I didn't check the board fast enough. Losa gets hit by a bus, unfortunate, and now Vayne has the advantage. Let's check the area splits. Losa, a little over half a second behind into this. Hikage has Crane and center floating, and both are heading to Crane. Can they get the fast movement?
Yeah, Vayne got in ahead and had more cans, so should be... Oh, but Losa goes for the fast movement
Yes.
and locks it in.
No bias. I'm here for fast movement.
We love
at the
to see
difference.
it.
That is a
made up
difference.
about a half a second or more.
Yeah, I think it's about 1 second difference, and that locks in a critical center square for Losa. NPG Gaming up in here, and now is going to cross Hikage, as neither of them know where each other are, and this is, again, devastatingly close. Fast to turn into... That's locked in for Losa again. Vayne getting
that's huge.
destroyed in Hikage.
Unfathomable, really, that a team with Naestronus on it is on the winning end of the snipes.
Who could believe the Bingopedia? And now Nay is already ahead, doing Shibuya things as well. Vayne's going to start Shibuya Graffiti, but look at this. They could theoretically... Oh, this Grind 10's going to reveal a lot. Is Vayne going to continue doing things after Grind 10 is marked? It appears so.
Alright.
Ooh,
And Nay's starting
Shibuya's-
up the graffiti. Interesting. So everyone just locking in on Shibuya Cho in this game. I saw the early points, and I was like, maybe they'll grab the early points and leave. But no, it looks like we're clearing house here. So
Oh,
graffiti
goodness.
race in Shibuya.
Shovel's coming into co-op.
Ooh,
This is going to
this
get
could
intense.
clutch
This
it
is going to
out.
be a double co-op race, but Vayne has a significant advantage right now. 16 tags in currently versus 4. And Losa entering as well, going to go start cleaning up the second half of this route. This is going to be a mess because Shibuya is one of the hardest levels to co-op, in my opinion, unless Losa leaves, in which case it doesn't matter whatsoever. And no.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough decision. I felt like maybe, given that it's Ney and Losa, they could contest it if they co-opt, but that's not the plan.
Not in the cards today. Instead, Shibuya Graffiti almost certainly will be heading over to Bark at the Mailman, and the consolation prize will be precisely Hikage Tricks 55 and nothing more.
But despite that, I mean, this is a bit of a salve perhaps for Bark because they were behind, they got sniped early. This isn't the end of the world for Rollberblades. They still have really, really good board control. Yes, they won't get that diagonal top left to bottom right, but they can still do more with what they have on the board right now. The really rough thing about this is that Ney is not going to know that they were contested here until it's already over, or maybe... No, it's just locked in, yeah, and Ney immediately leaves. Okay, so that's not too bad, actually.
Yeah.
That's a pretty quick exit.
Yeah, Ney was in a great spot for that departure, just happened to be really good, and now heading off to Kogane. So looking at the major threats here, while it's even in points, the board control still firmly rests with Rollberblades. They are just sitting in a very solid position with board presence. Column 4, row 4, and column 3 all exist. And of course, the first row and column are available for certain levels of available.
Yeah, and what they've done here is they've gotten good board control, and now I think they're settling into the late game with Ney going into Kogane here. Uncontested, because I feel like they have that license to do that with the board control. Kogane isn't amazing for any bingos, but it might just be a matter of picking up points again. No bingos, no graffiti, just points.
Yeah, that feels like a t-shirt, something. No master, no whatever, no bingos, threats, just points. 2 defaults and bottom point will further their row 4 and column 4 threats. But with Vayne being out in Benton, it is more difficult, although Highway 0 is not the I'm looking at the row 4. Just co-op SDPP right now. Do a blisteringly early SDPP rush. You grab 6 points of it, and you'll have 13 of your 16 necessary. Might be the play if... That's a scary play.
Yeah, the difficult thing is that they can't just clinch the game in Benton after that. So they would have to co-op it intelligently, have someone leave before the route's over, get out, and set themselves up to pick up the final points, whether it's in Kogane or in Shibuya-cho.
Yep.
It could be done, but I'm not sure if co-oping it is... I'm not sure if the game entirely rests on it.
I bet they're going to do the same thing they did last game. I don't think they're going to go for the graffiti. I think they're going to sit on this just sit on 4 in a row with SDPP tricks, and then go triple pickup in Dogen, which is worth very similar amounts.
Yeah, I think Rollberblades have been really good at reading where Bark have been, and it's allowed them to go to areas uncontested and just pick up a lot of points for free. And that's been the difference so far, I think, in this series.
Yeah, so far it really has been, very few snipes going against them so far this series. The threats are manifesting, though, on the row in column 1 for Bark, as they have started
This
SDPP graffiti. This is let's see. Where Nay goes is a huge indicator of the plan. They are going to co-op SDPP here. They're just going for the knockout punch. But this is, well, they could go to Dogen. I'm speaking slightly too soon.
Yeah, Losa's only now just started spraying SDPP and actually left the the large where Trick spawns. So that's a little awkward. Maybe this game does come down to SDPP then, because Bark have shown intent now with that column 1 and the SDPP graffiti on there. We may
Vayne
just get a bloodbath here.
No, we're not going for a bloodbath. We're going for this row 1. Bark have ditched the SDPP plan, thinking that Rollberblades are using it as bait, and now Nay is making the opt play to go into Shibuya areas, and that's going to nullify this threat, while
Sure,
also
Cubby to block the bingo, yeah, and lock in their own. There's so many bingo threats in this game. You've got the row 4 and the column 1 where both teams realistically could get it, but it hinges on SDPP, and then you've got the row 1 and the column 3, which hinges on Chuo Cubby. This is the most bingo-oriented game of bingo we've had in a while.
Yeah, this is quite good, and there is no stopping Nay at this point. This is going to cross the line for a bingo. Vayne is now opting for the 3 points in Dogen, which will go for a good amount, but is going to be a little difficult. Now Shovel appears to be heading what I can only assume to be back into SDPP graffiti. This game is a mess. Teams are having to adjust their plans on the fly hard. Chuo Cubby locked in for the bingo.
Awesome. So 1 bingo locked in. That increases points to win to 16 and puts Rollberblades 4 points off the win, which means SDPP +1. It's 13 sprays to 3 right now in the favor of Losa, as Shovel is just now entering.
Boy, all right, I'm very curious to see what... Oh, Nay's not doing the out of bounds. Oh, Nay's trying to do the out of bounds. Never mind, I have created a deception.
I think they just wanted the cans.
That's probably very true. I'm curious to see what Rollberblades is going to do after the Dogen square is marked in, or locked in. Are they going to, nice out of bounds, commit to co-op SDPP, or are they going to go somewhere, try and find somewhere else to pick up their last square?
I gotta say, I was expecting maybe a slightly longer game or slightly longer series. We've had no downtime to talk about silly things. I wanted to talk about the graffiti and the POTS model. I'm not gonna have time to do that because this is just all high-octane bingo action.
Yeah, this has been real good. Do we have... Okay, I do have an important question. Do we have the newest graffiti in... Yes, there it is. It's on Vayne's medium. Watch the medium going by. Oh, it's hard to see. It's so funny.
It's so good.
Oh my god. It is Phospho in their mail truck with mail going. Oh, that's amazing.
I gotta say, the graffiti bit, I've missed the graffiti bit since we haven't got Ace-Bats playing anymore, but thank you, Bark, for bringing it back.
Yeah, thank you, Bark. Okay, important. Where does Nay go? Is Nay going to pick up the last square needed first? No. Okay, so let's do a win con count here. This could go the reverse way of the previous game. If Shovel bails on this route immediately, and Vayne goes to Kogane, they will win the game, which is insane.
Yeah,
but
and it very much just comes down to, do you have that gut feeling? Because you can make assumptions, okay, Losa's not marked anything in a while. Am I contested in SDPP? Can I win this race? Do I bail? It's all just down to that instinct of just got to make the call.
Yeah, the killer instinct here is Losa last marked SDPP tricks 5 minutes ago. Like, this is... I almost think you have to make this co-op read, and because Vayne is the last person into SDPP, you are objectively behind at this point. You have to have this key read to stay in the game, and they are currently not on it. They are deep in the sauce in SDPP Graffiti, but they are behind by 8 tags currently, and they have the easy ones finished in center, I believe.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Bark in this situation. But what a glow up for Rollberblades after their first game where they struggled, I feel, in terms of decision making and in execution.
I would agree. If your decision is to do a Graffiti route that is not on the board, I will say that is a bit of a struggle.
It was definitely just rust, though, right? And
yeah.
It looks like the rust has been shaken away because this has been a really good 2 games from them.
Rollberblades is a very interesting team to play against because if you get behind them in their execution is top class. Nay with the Bingopedia and Losa with the NPG experience. They go a long way, but their weakness is in the strategy. They don't play as much bingo, especially as, say, shovel. But if you're behind them in an execution race, DJ Professor K, help you, because there is not much you can do to defeat the long game expertise that they have, and it is paying off very well here as they just have the observatory left to do it. I think that's correct.
Yeah, observatory
Yes.
in this XL, yeah. That'll do it. And yeah, I mean, they've played to their strengths. As we said, they found places to go where they're not going to be contested, where they can just clean house, where they can put their movement expertise to full effectiveness. And that is an element of strategy that they've developed to help them win. But also, counting squares, being able to visualize win conditions, that is an element of bingo strategy that they've needed to develop. There it is. SDPP Graffiti is locked in. It was not Observatory.
No,
fact,
it was
just random tags all over the place.
It was the larges, and that is bingo. Graffiti crossed for the double bingo to get perfect points to win. I was, in fact, not remembering that was a whole ass bingo for enough points to win, and that in fact does it. Rollberblades with an excellent showing, winning this series 2-0.
That was really, really good. That was a great game of bingo. Both games to watch. Back and forth. We definitely saw like a strong start from Bark in game 1. But then in game 2, they fell a little bit behind and they just could never keep up. As you said, it was just like Rollberblades in their element, just getting to execute.
Yeah, I'm curious what the margins were for the Vayne with Losa snipes right there, because that was really massive.
Yeah.
I mean, Rollberblades have a very, very small amount of squares for the amount of points they have. With 2 bingos and a graffiti, you rarely see 17 points on 11 squares. But they were able to make that happen. So I'm curious how big those squares were towards the end of this game.
Great news, bingo fans. Our generous players have agreed to play a 3rd game anyway.
Oh, I love this. I love just playing 3 games.
We
More
love
bingo.
content. We love bingo.
Yo, yeah, we spend all this time for a 40-minute stream. No, we do more games. Maybe we'll make it into the rules that every series is game 3, Nick. Or you just play 3 games and get like 1 point per game.
Yeah.
Next season. Actually, that kind of cooks.
I like that a lot, actually. We are cooking live.
This is how we cook. We just come up with things. Oh, it's so good. Some Nexomania energy. Yeah, but games are even shorter than Nexo. Do we have a game? Oh, we do have a board 3.
Board 3, game 3. This one is, I believe in the fighting game community, they call this the salty, right? Like, it doesn't matter, but it matters. It matters the most.
Yeah.
Bark will want to win this one.
Pretty sure Losa started after Vayne and SPP. Very slightly but Vayne left.
Still discussing the game 2 in the
We can
bingo
do
chat
chatting
right now.
with us after the game.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss this in the post-game podcast. We do have a ridiculous column 4 on this board.
Yeah, let's. Oh my god! I actually was chatting it up as well. That's gross. That's kind of obscene. Finally, Kogane getting some rep.
Yeah,
3 in
after the first 2
Kibo.
games.
Ready, by the way. Let's hit the start button.
I
Game
want to see a
3.
Boogie Warp.
Oh, I do too.
Where's Miku? Miku, come in. Someone give Miku the controller
Somebody put in an order at the McDonald's.
for a Boogie Warp.
Yeah. Twinkichi, you can hear us. Next, if you can give me the log afterwards, I will, don't close the console or something and copy everything. I will check the Hikage snipe times or show you how to do it. It'll be great.
This is something that we're considering to implement in the on-screen display going forward, is like snipe delta, I suppose.
Yeah, the snipe splits and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely. It would be so sick. I just, sniped by 0.11 seconds would be chef's kiss to have.
Also, a reminder that we have the sniped emote, just in
Ooh,
case.
very true. We should have done that. We should have had that. This board is terrible on Shibuya, which is probably good for once, because they have been strong in Shibuya so far.
Yeah, we got Hikage Kabi, we got Shibuya Top of Bus, but this is very much a... I feel like everyone just avoids Shibuya because no one wants to get sniped to either of those two. Never mind, Ney is going to Shibuya.
Oh my god, Los is going to Shibuya.
What?
What?
Okay,
And then we have
why
a double Kogane? No, this is absurd. This is gross. Okay, column 1 versus column 4, anybody? Oh, that's gross. Ney misses it, but it's not actually going to matter. Losa going direct to Chuo. Ney will detect this after doing Hikage Cubby and then head out. This is a bingo rush. What? Game 3. I love a game that doesn't count. Because people
Yeah,
will
all
come
bets
up
are
with
off.
the most, yeah, people do the most absurd, whack-brained, bingo radioactive nonsense that exists. Oh, I love it. Please. I'm gonna fix these splits one day. I don't know why it's saying Shovel was 1 second behind into Sewers. Nobody's contesting.
Small indie company. Don't worry
It
about
is.
it.
It legitimately.
This
it's
is
just,
legitimately.
It's not even a company. It's just small indie. Oh boy. All right, Gambit has been shown off now. RDH Sana picked up for Vayne, which is a interesting prioritization. And Chuo plus Hikage both
Shovel?
been knocked in.
Ah.
Ooh, just barely
Close.
clipped the edge.
Yeah, that's the Miku setup for the Boogie Warp, where you go on the left side of the tunnel, and if you're Miku, apparently it's consistent, you get 100% of the time. I don't like it because if you fail in some way, shape, or form, there is no safety net and you're going out of map. Like that.
Shovel's missing it to the right just barely, but that's a 2 out of 2 on the launches themselves is quite good as a good rate. Take a third attempt at it, third time's the charm.
I do respect going for the Boogie Warp, though. Like, that's pretty
We're
good.
gonna play it safe.
But yeah, when you go inside the tunnel like this, you can still get Boogie Warp if you set it up correctly, but you have that safety net of being able to continue on through the level and not wasting 10-15 seconds getting back to the stall launch situation.
All right, so let's take a look where we're at for this row 4. Bark at the Mainland, we know what they're up to, but Losa and Ney have no idea because one square has been marked. I am going to assume they think somebody has been sniped in Shibuya, and all of a sudden these squares are going to start flying in. It's going to be a matter of how fast can the reaction come through. Boogie has been marked, so it is not quite the jig is up, but one more of these very soon, and it will be very evident what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like when you're 3 minutes into the game and your opponents have only marked 2 squares, and they both show up in Kogane, I'm not sure if you assume they got sniped to everything, or if you assume that they were cooking up something insane. It's a difficult call to make.
You do see in the feed, Vayne picked up one and Shovel picked up the other, so I think they do have some kind of idea. But now looking at this, Shibuya Benton means column 1 is a threat. So that could be the response, is counter bingo, which of course is our favorite kind of gameplay.
Yeah, we've had a game 1 where bingos didn't matter, a game 2 where bingos decided the game, and now a game 3 where both teams are petrified of bingos, I suppose.
Both teams are like, wow, that bingo idea was really good. Let's both do it in completely different ways.
But then let's also just please desperately prevent the other team from getting a bingo.
I think both of these bingos are inevitable at this point. Ney headed off to Dogen. So that is a guaranteed lock-in, which is going to let Kibo points and Kibo grind get picked up as well. And FRZ has been claimed as well. So
The diagonal. I wasn't even looking at the diagonal.
That would be a very difficult one.
STP.
Yeah, but it crosses with bottom point, which is exactly what Bark want to do.
Yeah. The reason I exclaimed in the way that I did is because I forgot diagonal bingos exist. Not because it was good, but just because I was like, oh, those also do exist.
Diagonal bingos are so good.
This is why I commentate and not play.
It is very, very nice. All right, Dogen tape has been picked up for Ney. Losa doing STPP points, grabs that unlock. Now, this is going to take a long time in STPP, but both of them are unlocked, so now is just cleanup time. I don't imagine we'll be seeing any crane strats from Losa, though it would be optimal at this time.
Ooh, we hate crane strats.
Yeah, but they're fast. When they're fast, from where Losa just was, if you turn around and jump on that billboard, then jump into like one of the satellite towers.
Yeah.
You can jump over to the crane and it gets you to special faster than any other method, even on slow crane cycles.
That's true. That is a pretty cool strat. I just hate cranes.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see where Ney goes after this. Theoretically, they have to make a lap. 0 cans.
Oh,
Rip.
that's rough.
Pepe
That's
cans.
really unfortunate.
4 in a row locked in there. 4 in a row coming up for Vayne and Shovel. There it is. I'm very curious if anybody opts for Sewer's tricks. Now, there are a ton of points in Benton still, so Losa absolutely in the best map position, and that may be the determinative point to this game, but Sewer's tricks is kind of looking a little interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they use it as bait or use it as try and capitalize on the threat.
Bingo, locked in with the STPP special, so it's Rollberblades who pick up theirs first, which is crazy when you consider that Bark had been aiming for this column 4 for basically the whole game.
Yeah, but they picked up a lot of other points.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I respect this. What we've seen is they've completely split the map, right? You've got Bark have just spent the whole game in Kogane until now, and Rollberblades have been mostly in Shibuya and Benton. Kind of split it relatively evenly. Both teams have kind of recognized that and then gone and picked up bonus points where they've needed to, instead of just rushing straight for the bingos, which I like, and I think that's the correct thing to do.
Light wall ride race here. Ney is opting for light wall ride directly, does not show interest in the graffiti. And Vayne opting for the graffiti loses out on the point there. We'll have to see if Ney really wants to commit to the graffiti here or thinks that Sky Dino plus enough other stuff is good. Now, it is 17 to win. The overlay says 16, but it has not accounted for bottom point points.
Yeah.
Why are
Bingo
we
gets
racing
logged in for
Cube? What? Why are we
It's,
racing
it's,
Cube?
it's game
Shovel.
4.
Shovel.
It's sorry, game 3. Doesn't matter.
Well, I guess we're racing Cube. Not ideal. You can't kill.
Can we pause and just let me do this? No, you have to.
No,
you have to
you have
accept your mistake.
Eh.
Yeah, well, we're all even now. This makes up for the Shibuya graffiti incident.
So funny. All right, chat. We will do a poll, okay? We can't do a poll. Put 1 in chat if we should pause the game for 1 minute and let Shovel do its nonsense. 2 if we should be if we should just lay in the bed that you have made.
By the time this poll finishes, the race
We'll
will be
just make him
over.
wait for a second. 2, 1, 2. Oh, all right.
Yep, that's fair.
Chat has
Chat
made
has
their
spoken.
decision. We have taken a democratic vote, and it is 4-1 in favor of not pausing the game. I think this is the funniest outcome. Oh. There's a graffiti race in quotes occurring, but Vayne is significantly ahead. Has finished light side and most of dark, I want to say. Light side and all of center now, and is headed to dark. Nay wrapping up the 20th spray, which is the last one on light before heading out, and then you have 21 in the XL, but is significantly behind, but, you know, it's not going to matter too much. Whoa, Cube unlocked! Let's go.
Woo!
Way to go, Shovel. Points 50k is the last square to get. This
is the point where we announced that Cube was the secret insta-win square the whole time. The hidden square
wouldn't that be
instantly
crazy?
wins you the game.
There's a secret square, or secret objective not listed on the board that instantly wins the game. That sounds like Wild Magic Bingo. Wait, write that down. Write that down. For Wild Magic Bingo, there's an immediate immediately win the game. Does not matter any other thing. But you're just praying that it happens.
We love chaos.
Oh, this is great. Vayne is crushing this graffiti route. Nay is not finding it quickly, although Nay did pause for a few seconds during the shovel incident. Trademark, but, you know, nonetheless.
I'm a big fan of playing all the games for content. This is great.
I am
I'm
too.
having a great time.
Me too. Let's do this for real. All right, players, be ready. You are playing 3 games every single time, regardless. Only, like, the ones until the series concludes will be the only ones that matter. We love format changes. Skydino Graffiti is progressing, although Losa is getting Skydino Graffitied quite a little bit. They will need Skydino and 2 squares as the points to win have risen to 17, and all of a sudden, that's a little concerning. 99th has
It's a little
points.
difficult, yeah.
Yeah. Tricks in Sewers is going to be gone after by Shovel, who has not left Kogane yet this game.
Vayne going into SDPP here is, I feel like, a little strange.
Is Nate going in to support Skydino Graph?
Is Vayne going to Skydino right now? Like, I feel like you get Jazz and 99th points, right?
I would think you win the game with Jazz Knight. Maybe they don't want to get sniped and they're trying to go far away regardless. There won't be too much committed to this as Losa is at 28, but incidentally
It's also
baiting...
worth noting that Losa had already unlocked SDPP Grind,
Yeah.
but didn't pick it up earlier on in the game, so that's clearly what Nay is... No, I think actually Nay's trying to unlock it, but it is already unlocked, I believe. I think John pointed that out in the chat. So Nay just needs to go and pick it up.
I dubbed John the Lord of pre-unlock checking. John was on top of both of them last week. That is air, Shovel. Shovel has now picked up a second square that is not on the board. Or a second thing that's not on the board.
That's a good job. This is the content game.
Losa cannot find this 29th spray. Incidentally, if it gives Vayne about, I would say, 2.5 more minutes, be fine, but, there it is. Last spray, Bronto head knocked out 16 now, so it all comes down to 99th Street. Vayne needing to do the out-of-map right here. Does know it very good, Vayne. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Or turn left, that works.
But Nay will have a significant advantage here, and 99th points is pretty quick and easy to clinch the game.
Yep. I'm really curious. Maybe Vayne was just expecting otherwise, but yeah, just a snappy... Although Nay got sniped earlier, can clinch the game in 99th, although this is a...
What is this? This is
Are we
special.
jazzing it up first, but we're going to the wrong... We don't know where the jazz entrance is? I mean, both of them still lock up the game. Like...
Oh, tape. Okay,
What?
that helps.
We are taking a side route.
Right.
It's
Now
tape into
points.
jazz, of course.
And then Losa will go get 99 points. Naturally.
All right, the game will still be locked up for Rollberblades. There are no wrong decisions here, but this was... I'm going to just say it in a game like, this is the worst of the right decisions.
They went the long way around. They took the scenic route.
That was quite the scenery. I guess it... Okay, hold on. Hear me out. Max Chaos. Chun. 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 Chun.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah, but think. We'd be getting so much content. Losa going for the 99th points pickup now. The Chun no longer matters. Game 3 for the content.
Rollberblades with the 3-0 sweep.
Oh, after getting 0-3 last week. Definitely spent all the time in the practice room and took this one against a very strong Bark at the Mailman team.
Yeah, this is a real glow up, real improvement from Rollberblades, and yeah, maybe Bark weren't at their best. Maybe they'd only had like 3 hours of sleep.
3 hours of sleep. You know what? That might be the X factor.
But let's not take it away from Rollberblades, because there were some serious marked improvements from them across their entire game.
Well, how Nay and Losa both were in Jazz Race at the same time. So there were 3 people doing Jazz Race. That's amazing. All right. Let's have a chat with the players. Bring them all in. Just smash my TV in that. Let's chat. All right, I'm bringing the players in.
Hi,
folks.
Not so bad.
I'm just a little puppy man. I'm just a dumb little puppy man. What do you want?
Oh, so
Claus, what happened?
Context. There's bottom point points 50k on the board, and
Yeah.
for an inexplicable reason, Claus goes sexy fish into cube race.
Oh no.
And
yeah.
so
Oh,
we have cube race.
Did you think Jazz Race was going to be cube or something like that?
No, I'm so used to doing. I'm so used to just doing cube race that I went to cube for some reason.
I was not ready to
That's
hear.
fucking
I just
tragic.
entered cube race.
That's so tragic.
I gotta go.
Oh, that's alright.
So
If it's any consolation, I
taking it
started
back-
game 2 getting Right the Street, and Right the Street was not on the board.
I also want to say that game was we just off rip went double Kogane, and that was really funny.
It was.
Oh.
It was very funny to see you both just constructing vertical bingos in that game.
And,
Yeah.
and we went from
B4B.
2 of the like coolest, most interesting bingo games I think I've ever played to that. I hope you enjoyed the
That was fun
content.
though.
We
That was
love
good.
the
Very good
content
games.
game. But let's rewind it back to the games that mattered. And in
Right.
particular, the game 2 conclusion. If we can cast our minds back to, what, like 40 minutes ago
I'm
or something.
traumatized. It's been 10 centuries.
Yeah, game 2 was extremely close. Like, it could have gone. Like, I'm really not sure. Like, the end of game 2 was extremely confusing to me because I was sure that Vayne had a head start to SDVP spray.
Yeah,
I was
I
sure she
was
going to
should have
snipe
been
us last minute.
spraying, but
I made a bad call. I told Vayne to leave, not thinking about the fact that I am literally leaving Kogane in that game. I can make it to Dogen in time, and it's like very obvious you're going Cubby. I just 9 times out of 10 I would have told Vayne, hey, stay in STPP spray, I'm going Dogen, that's how we win, that's our path to victory. This was the one time. I got 3 hours of sleep, my brain has been off this entire game. No excuses, I made the bad call. It was my fault.
Yeah, happens.
yeah.
But yeah, that in-game was really cool. Because I realized that Cubby and tricks, STPP tricks, were important way too late, and I was like, oh fuck, we're kind of boned. And then I realized, wait, we only need 6 points to win. We can do that by going Dogen and STPP. So by that point, I already told Vayne, get out of SDPP and try to snipe Cubby, but it was very obvious, like, you were ahead to it. I just shouldn't have made that call.
Yeah, I think, well, we needed both SDPP and Cubby, I think, to win. I'm not really sure how
you
it
should have
was
been
at
able
the
to
end.
punish it.
So maybe if you went earlier to Cubby, because like I was probably really late to Cubby, that was a last minute decision. I was going
Honestly-
to instead go and help Losa finish SDPP because I was like, we don't want to get sniped to it. Like
the
even bingo, we need
problem-
a graffiti to win. So, but I
Yeah, I
decided
think
last
the
minute to go
problem-
and commit.
Yeah. I think the problem with that is that we needed more points. Like, Cubby is really bad if we're trying to play, or we're trying to get more points in that game.
Yeah,
so
for
it feels
when
really
you're-
bad to commit to
Yeah,
Cubby.
definitely.
You guys made it a really good threat, and like for us, it kind of felt like bait. Where like if we go block it, that distracts us from the squares that are important to win, which in that case is Dogen SDPP. And then we
Yeah.
ended up just distracting ourselves from it, which is funny.
At
But-
first, it was bait. So
Yeah.
Request
We
that was not a bad
recognized
read
that.
at all.
Request from chat, can you show off the phospho spray, please?
Yeah, please show off the
I'm
bark
ahead
graffiti.
of you.
Thank you. Show them all real quick, but especially,
Let me full screen.
please jump up and zoom in on that. Great thumbstick.
Wait,
Oh, it's so good.
yes, you're right.
So, based season 1 contestant, commentator.
God.
That is,
Yeah, so bad.
for reference, that is a real JSRF bingo community member.
We got
In
added
their
to a
mail
group
truck.
chat the other day, and Fosfo was like, "Here you go," and it was just a few photos of them. I think the funny story. I'm sorry, Fosfo, in advance. The funny story is that someone saw them setting their phone up on someone else's mailbox, taking this photo. I just thought that was fun.
We love the commitment to the bit. Thank you, Phospho.
It's really good. Thank you,
Thank you,
Fosfo.
Phospho.
Thank
You
so
can
much
never
for
say
playing.
Phospho does not commit to the bit.
They're really good at that.
Oh my goodness.
But that first game too, man. Oh, I am really happy with how we played both of those games. Honestly,
It just
like,
came down
both
to
of
like
those first
one
games.
decision.
Yeah, we just needed the 1 point, but we were going to just leave everything else and co-op both sprays. And I was like, they will never see this coming. Not in a million universes do you commit to both of these graphs right now. And I was right, but that's because we needed an extra point to win.
You were right because
thought
it was
you were
the
actually
incorrect
doing
way.
it with graffitis. That was actually what I had in mind. But
Yeah,
yeah, miscalculation cost you anyway.
Yeah.
Both teams got their thought points to win.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's just... Look, I'm good at identifying win conditions, but, like, Kev, you gotta add points to win on the site, man. Come on.
Well, y'all, it is not
hate
that
maths.
difficult.
It's
Y'all would
not-
not
Not that
survive. Y'all would not survive.
It's not
Yeah,
that bad. I
guys.
just need better sleep.
Yeah.
I'm sleepy.
We're gonna get Kev to implement ChatGPT into the bingo site so that you can ask ChatGPT what the points are. There you go.
Dude, this
No,
is
That's
going to
the
be
Zoomer
a
approach.
huge
This is-
impact.
Kev, if you do that, I'm going to find you.
No. Here's new Wild Magic Bingo. Ask ChatGPT what to do next.
Dude, this sucks. I hate this.
I hate it too.
I'm past needing sleep at this point. I just need to eat food. That's really bad for me.
I'm past needing sleep. I need a bingo win at this point.
We'll get our run back later. in the
So
bracket.
true. Yeah, this was a really fun set though. Like that was
It was fun.
that was really cool. You guys
Good boys.
are an enigma to me still, which is a
You know,
compliment.
I'm an enigma to myself as well, so
Yeah,
I'm not worried
that's
too much
a
about
wonderful.
it.
So true. But this was fun.
That U.S. military strategy meme.
So true.
Yeah, thanks for playing. We have more bingo coming up tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern. That will be Team Puma versus Fatal Fatale.
And we have
So
more
Ace-
bingo right now, because we have
Oh, yeah,
pinball.
we got pinball coming up as well.
Can be.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Remember to join the Discord, and you can get like the notifications for when the stream is and when the games are, and you can donate to JSRF on Ko-fi to give us money for all the awesome work that we do. And
Voice acting, drive storage,
voice acting,
code,
storage,
all this
the coding.
servers.
There's a lot of it. It looks real
Talkable.
good. No
Thank
time.
you.
Better than a Twitch sub.
Anyway.
Which is what I'm gonna do.